if you build a wall and it doesn't push forward or want to fall before the actual material starts to crumble like it is, you did a good job installing it. Looks like it's coming in earlier than expected. He told me he was the 699th subscriber on my channel. So I don't make designs. It's kind of all in my head. I can envision a project really good. And there's a lot of guys who make 3D designs for people and end up not getting the jobs. And we put these granite light posts in with the help of the customer. Did that off camera that day. As you guys can see, holding up pretty good. Concrete does not last as long as people think it does. This thing has been rented many times by people who don't seem like they know what they're doing with it. Definitely wet. Mostly my lower back and my butt cheeks. Good morning, everyone. Today's Wednesday, May 8th, and we're going to start a new job for an old customer. We're doing a concrete block retaining wall. There's a wall already there in place. It's concrete block, but it's about 20 to 25 years old, and it's crumbling and just needs to be replaced. So that's what we're doing. Ben's not coming in today. They're saying a lot of rain in the forecast, but I'm gonna try to get this machine there and take out a load of concrete before the rain gets too heavy, and then we'll head back there tomorrow to keep going on it. If you watch the channel, you know what I got. A beat up Bobcat E32. The one good thing about that is you're not so worried about doing what you gotta do with it. But it's loaded up, we're good. I got some more plywood. Let's get into the day. Yeah, so like I said, there's gonna be some really heavy rain coming in. Looks like it's coming in earlier than expected. I might be getting wet. So from here until about 12:30, it's saying some heavy rain. So let's go see what we can do. The green on the radar never worries me, but when you start seeing the red and yellow, that's when it'll get you. Oh boy. You guys see that radar right there? Whew. It's coming. Been pretty good this year though, not too many rain days. I think we lost like 1 or 1.5 days completely to rain, but the other rain days we've had, we've been able to work through. Even today, sometimes these storms go a little bit quicker than they expect, so it might end at like 11 instead of 12, and then you get the latter half of the day still to work. So one of those things, you get out there and you try to do what you can do and just gauge the weather as it comes. So these customers that I told you are old customers, they're from about a little over 1.5 years ago now. We installed a front walkway, a little small curved retaining wall, some stone veneer a stone veneer stoop. We put in some granite light posts and a mailbox. We did a bunch of little things for them, and it was a super fun project. And like I said, the customers are just absolute class acts. I love them very much. Probably at the time they were the first people that signed up with me because of what they saw on YouTube. The husband, actually, he told me he was the 699th subscriber on my channel. So we're going back to the beginning of it, and when they were looking for people to do this project, they looked up online and they found me. So the videos helped get that project, and you know, ever since, it's just kind of been the story of it, is my YouTube channel, really helping me sell work. And you know, I think it's simply because it lets a customer really see what you do, but also how you do it. You know, your base prep, and that's something a lot of customers don't see when they hire a company, because they'll leave in the morning for work, and then when they come back, there's been a lot of work done and a lot of progress, but they didn't really see how it got there. And you know, not many people are videotaping or making videos of the work they do like I have been. So I think people find it interesting to see like a project come together over the course of a few videos. That's why I make the playlist that I do. When I start a job, there may be a few videos, up to 10 videos of a project, depending how in depth it is, and they all get put in that playlist, so you can watch it from beginning to end. You can see how a project comes together. And I don't know, I think some people really like that. It's I mean, at least that's what it seems like. A lot of effort, a lot of labor, but it's also the designing and planning. I get comments about, you know, what kind of software I use to make my designs, or stuff like that. And I don't make designs. It's kind of all in my head. I can envision a project really good, and I show customers pictures or videos of previous jobs that can kind of relate the most towards their project, to give them a good idea. And there's sometimes where I'll do like a 2D just kind of drawing on graph paper, just a bird's eye view, and a lot of times that'll be enough to give the customer a good idea of the plan. And again, when they see the videos or pictures of my previous work, they just kind of trust me on the plan in my head coming together and working out good. 3D designing is awesome way to go, don't get me wrong, but it's very time consuming, and there's a lot of guys who make 3D designs for people and end up not getting the job. So you put in a lot of effort to design a project for somebody, and they end up taking that design and having other companies bid on it, and they'll go with a company that will be cheaper or something like that, and you're pretty much out your time and effort of making the design for them. And honestly, there's nothing more frustrating than you calling a contractor out. They spend an hour to an hour and a half around your property talking to you for free, because we do free estimates, but they spend an hour or so talking with you on your property, come up with a design, come up with a quote. So by the time the quote and the design's done, they've put probably 4 hours of their time into it. And sometimes, one, you don't even respond, or two, again, you'll take the design and the good ideas from that contractor and have other people bid on that, and those guys end up underbidding you because they're not designers. They're not people that are going in through all that extra effort. So they just go in and they just bid out to a design, and you know, a lot of times those guys undercut the really professional companies. All right, so this is an example of probably the most intricate design I'm going to do. Just kind of sketch it out on graph paper. This is a job I didn't actually get, and I put a lot of effort into it. It's a big pool, outer pool patio, some steps right here. I put a lot of effort into this. I didn't get this job, and like I said, it's just one of those things where a project like this, you can't get upset at the customer for wanting a lot of different bids. But the problem is you end up putting in a lot of work. So free estimates end up biting you in the butt sometimes, because you can end up losing a lot of your own time and getting nothing in return for it. But this is basically what I would do at the most, is a rough idea, and then I kind of can write out the ideas of what's going to go in and around it. And then if you're a really special customer, I'll color it for you. But that was a design that I didn't get the project on. I'll show you a couple that I did. You've probably seen them on my channel. So this was actually the design I came up when I did the Hardscape Expo competition, where we got to design and build our own thing. If you guys remember that that video. There was a few videos, but that was really fun. Had Joey and my nephews there on that project. And you know, from the drawing to the actually putting it together, it worked out perfect. This was a project we did on my channel. Big curved concrete block walls, 2 sets of walls, steps, and then stepping stone pathway to a set of stone veneer front steps. If you remember that job, that was fun. That one got a drawing. This was a job I did not get, but there's another one. This one I did get. Don't know if you guys remember this, but this was a job that was on the lake. We put a walkway in and a front little walkway / patio, little set of steps. Throw some B-roll over all these, but this was another one I got. That's the design I made. And this was actually a design from the first year in business, and this is another job that I have on my channel. That was the rough without color. That was the same job, but gave him the option of curves, which cost more money just because of all the customizing and cutting. That was actually the first T-pad drawing. This was a triangle patio I did. This was a job that I didn't get. This was another project on the channel, which I gave the customer 3 options on, all kind of within the same thing. And what I did is, I did a rough sketch of the full project, meaning like the 3rd option right here was the biggest, including everything he wanted. So I drew that out, photocopied it a couple times, and then kind of shaded and drew out other options. So if that was too much or that was too much, he had the option of just coming off the porch and coming over into a big patio. The second option was a smaller patio off the porch, but still have this same area. And the last option was this really big area with a fire pit, and then that same area. So he ended up going with this option, number 2. And again, that was one that was on the channel too. Came out awesome. We poured a little concrete pad for a hot tub. That was it in color right there. That was like everything he wanted. This one here you guys might be familiar with. This was the brown patio that we put in with a little sitting wall on the back. That one got a drawing. What is this one? Oh yeah. Well, it took me a while to remember this one. I put a lot of work in on this one, a lot of time with the customer, a lot of figuring out. This is a whole wall, patio, fire pit, steps up into the backyard, steps over here. That took a lot of time, and that's one of those things I'm talking about with customers not understanding how much time goes into these projects. This one here, another one. I didn't get this one. Spent a lot of time with the customer, going back and forth, coming up with the design, drawing it. Sent him a price. He never even called me back. Must have gave him a sticker shock, but so that's basically all I'll do for a design, so to say. A lot of these designs were from the past couple years, and I did them a lot more often, but I've done them less because, like I've shown you, a lot of those designs took a lot of my time and effort, and just to get ghosted by a customer, you know, leaves you a little frustrated at the end, and it makes you less motivated to do it for the next customers because you don't know if they're going to want to accept it, and you put out a lot of time and effort with nothing in return. So, you know, all these contractors that come and do free estimates, don't forget all the time that they put into it, you know, just to try to put something together for you. So I have had people comment on my truck and how strong it is, how well it tows. It's a 2017 Ford F-250 XLT with a 6.2 liter gas engine. And it's not as powerful as a diesel engine, but this thing has never had a problem towing something. I have that excavator on the back on my trailer, and I'm coming up to a really big hill right now in my area. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's a very big hill, and you can see the truck makes it up and no problem. absolutely love this little quarter-mile stretch to get to this customer's house. It's so scenic. This beautiful field over here, and their house is right there on that corner, the yellow house. They've been doing an excellent job with this. They've got some perennials planted. They made some mulch beds and mulched it. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I'm gonna go spin around and come on back the other way. Here we are. All right, time to get unloaded. Oh yeah. So like I said, we put this mailbox in. They did all the landscaping around it. Looks beautiful. And we put these granite light posts in with the help of the customer. Did that off camera that day. But it looks gorgeous. And everything's wet, so it's kind of takes a little away from the look, but as you guys can see, holding up pretty good. So like I said, this was, I think, early September 2022. So it's gone through a couple winters, but not a full 2 years yet. Everything's holding up nicely. Steps are still looking good. I made a YouTube short on this walkway. It's actually got a lot of views. I think it's got like a few million, I think. And my favorite comment on every one of them is, it's not even going to last a season because we put it on crushed stone. Some people really can't understand the concept of laying pavers on clean crushed stone. They think it's just not going to work or it's not going to hold up. But I just totally beg to differ. So that's looking mint. You can hear the rain. It's definitely coming down. So here it is. Customers actually built this themselves, which is very impressive. I always say, if you build a wall and it doesn't push forward or want to fall before the actual material starts to crumble like it is, you did a good job installing it. Because this entire wall, it's not even leaning, it doesn't have any signs of failing or falling forward. None of it has sank or like started to go wavy. It was a very good install. It's just a matter of the material's lifespan. Concrete does not last as long as people think it does. If you're lucky, you're gonna get 20 to 25 years out of a concrete block wall like this before all the material starts to crumble and crack. And that also, the lifespan depends on the quality of the blocks that you buy. If you go with a really cheap manufacturer, chances are that the aggregate and the chemical balance and all that stuff isn't as good as a well-known manufacturer who's a couple dollars more per square foot or per face foot. So we're going to be getting rid of this angled part in the back, and we're just going to be making a curved wall. And on the sides where you see them taper down, both of these sides, what we're going to end up doing is building it sitting wall height, so that if you got company, there's seating for probably, you know, 10 or 12 people, and you won't be in the way of the pool patio. People can walk in front of you and walk by you. That's that, guys. I gotta go unload this excavator, get it up here. Definitely not gonna get all this in one load. That's why I want to just start and get at least a load out of here today. And if the weather looks like it's still gonna keep pounding down on us, I'll call it a wrap after one load, and we'll come back here tomorrow and keep moving along. Forgot to shut the door last night. Good thing it's parked at an angle. So it's funny, we actually pulled these two bushes out when we redid the steps. They were on the left and right side, and transplanted them there, but they're doing great. They still plan on moving them in the beds. They're just trying to figure out everything and make a good plan before they move them, but they're still alive. They got a new driveway last year, so we're staying off of it. And we also want to make sure we don't disturb any of this grass, so our plan is to come up this little hill here and just follow the woods line as close as possible. That way when we have to go back and repair the turf, it's not in like a really noticeable area. Oops. Sorry, Linda. So always protect your ramps, the jacks, all that stuff. It becomes a lot more important on very hot days because the asphalt's weaker, softer. But you still don't want to do that, because if you put dents or holes in the asphalt in front of someone's property, it's going to be a constant reminder of what you did every time they see it. because there's nothing you can do about it other than cut a little section out and put a new asphalt in, which again, you can see it. Show you guys around this machine after, but like I said, it is really messed up. This thing has been rented many times by people who don't seem like they know what they're doing with it. Much I have to worry about with digging back here. There is an electrical wire that the customer disconnected from the house and the shed, and they're gonna end up running a new one, so I'm sure I'm gonna hit that, but I don't have to worry about it. We got a bunch of other little odds and ends things to do on this project too, not only the wall, but I'll explain that tomorrow at another time. That one got me. I thought that was gonna be easier than it was. This is Versalock. Looks like Versalock. gonna be my pivot point. Wherever I need to turn a machine, I'm gonna try to do it in that same spot. And then I can hug this side right here. Hey guys, the weather people weren't wrong today. Definitely wet. Mostly my lower back and my butt cheeks. I'm an absolute mess. But kept moving, made some progress on a day where most people would just call it a day. And I think the rain is pretty much not going to be an issue from here on out. So this bucket's going to make a full load. I'm going to go dump it, come back and grab another load. I think I'm not going to go home. I'm just going to keep sending it today. Full load. Probably a little over full, I'll be honest. It's all solid block, so it's probably a good 4 yards. Time to go dump it. Little trash bag on the seat hack. My butt is soaked. I don't want to have a wet seat today and tomorrow. So it's 10 o'clock right now. They were saying rain until 12:30, 1 o'clock. Came and went much faster than they assumed. So we got that last little patch of green and then we're clear. But that's why I've actually uploaded a video the other day, a couple days ago now, of us finishing up a 2-tier concrete block wall, and I had talked about that. Just like checking the weather all the time, it's just almost useless. It really is. I know there's some things, like some of you concrete guys and everything, a day like this would ruin you for pouring and everything, but if there's anything you can do to keep making progress, you got to do it. You only have so much time through the regular season in this kind of work. But every day of progress is so important to, you know, making your company profitable throughout the year. If you're losing a day every week to rain, you know, after a month, that's a whole week. And then, you know, it just stacks up throughout the year. You just can't do it. And, you know, it's not the funnest thing to be out here in the rain working. Trust me, I'm not an advocate for that, but you know, you got to keep going. Too many people complain and are scared to go out and work in the rain. You just got to go. And definitely do not let the weather forecast scare you, because every hour it changes. And if I didn't do anything this morning and just sat on my hands at my house, nothing would have got done. And then this week would have been a day behind, and then that adds on another day next week. And then if next week there's a rain day and I sit on my hands at my house, that pushes that job off again, and it's a snowball effect. You end up really screwing yourself in contracting if you do that. So that's why I just go out and I try to do what I can. And if the weather really does start pounding on you and there's nothing you can do, if you went out and got half a day done, great. One load down, probably 2 more to go. Maybe more than 2, we'll see. But I think 2 more is probably gonna do it. Got the trailer going the other way this time. Let's get back into it. So it is January 2nd, 2025 as I edit this video. So Happy New Year to you all. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you had a good New Year celebration. But going back to this project, this was the second project of 2024, and like I said before, it was just for some really good customers. We built a good relationship, Ben and I, with the husband and wife of this home here. These customers have gone into retirement, and they've lived in this house for many, many years. They actually built this house. They developed the land, and you know, about 25 years, I believe is what they said they've been living there. And with that comes time for a lot of renovations. So they did a lot of renovations on their house. And, you know, the hardscape and landscape is something that they also wanted to get done. So that's what began our relationship with the front walkway and stair install. They were just very, very happy with it, thrilled. And they knew they'd been having to deal with this pool wall for a while now, so they were happy to pull the trigger on that this year, and I'm happy to be here doing the job. It was a fun project, other than this day in the rain. The rain can kind of put a damper on the day, but when you get through it and get things done, you're happy that you did. All right, there was a lot more block buried behind that first wall than I imagined. but I'm pretty sure I fished through it all. That's all just soil and drainage stone and stuff now. Put a bunch of them up there. There's still pins in them. I have to get rid of all the pins. You can't mix in all those plastic pieces with concrete. So I'm gonna load the bucket with that stuff, and we're on to the last little section here. I probably got room for 2 more buckets in the trailer, so I'm gonna do that and then go dump it again, come back and try to get the rest of the concrete. All these fence posts are coming out as well, and they all have balls of concrete on the bottom. I'm gonna try to maybe break them off and take those on the last load also. What do you think, dude? You proud of me?
Man, used to be a wall here.
Yep. Not no moat. The rain revealed a couple more blocks I didn't see though.
I see.
It poured last night, dude.
It poured.
Absolutely dumped. This project's gonna have a couple more videos. My wife is working on a project that ended off the year for 2023, and that was a big one. We had a couple very large retaining walls, a large set of concrete block steps, 2 walkways, and a back patio, all in one project to finish off that year of 2023, like I said. So this job and that job, you guys will be seeing the next couple weeks. And I'm just looking forward to sharing it with you and hearing what you guys think. But that's going to end it for this one. The next video from this project will be excavating, backfilling, and getting started on building the new block wall. But until the next one, you guys already know the deal. God bless. Peace.